lovely, potent scent of money in the evening. $50 million in crisp new bills.
You know, I don't get it. Holden and the nun. It sounds like a bad fairy tale. Anyways, they scam you halfway to the poorhouse. And this is the way you deal with it?
Why, certainly. After all the trouble they went to, they deserve everything they get.
Holden here.
Good evening, Max. Carlo. I have that piece of luggage we were discussing earlier. Perhaps you'd like to stop by and examine it.
I'll be right there. You got it. Congratulations, everyone. We did it. Carlo Hesser is about to exchange $50 million for a lifetime supply of spring water, the cure that never was for the disease we never had.
$50 million? I don't even know what that looks like.
It looks mighty pretty.
I hear it goes with everything.
Well, speaking of going...
Oh, you're not going anywhere, partner. Not alone, you aren't.
I can't believe this. You don't trust me?
Oh, I trust you, Max. I just like to keep my cash company.
Will you just wait a minute, you old jackass? There's no way.
Stop. Look, I don't care who goes. And the way you've been trying to pull things off, I don't trust either one of you.
Ooh. Sister, you have got a point. Let's send her.
Are you out of your mind?
Only when I want to be, Max. And I say, if you can't trust a nun, who can you trust?
Thank you for letting me in. I'm sure that my keys will turn up soon. Meanwhile, I'll just wait here for Mr. Thornhart. It's fine, really.
Mr. Thornhouse will be back soon.
Oh, I'm sure that he will, and he won't mind me being here. You don't have to worry about that, okay?
You alive? Ain't this just a kick in the pants?
I don't believe this.
It's good to see you. It's me. Not some ghost coming out of the mist. It's me.
This is incredible. I heard the shots. I saw your body. How could... what about your wife?
What about her?
Does she know? Does she know?
No, not yet.
Well, when are you going to tell her? That woman's lived in hell for the last year thinking you were dead.
I know. I heard that she was in a lot of pain. But I also heard that she had friends around her that could help her through her grief. And you were one of them, weren't you, Patrick? You know, I really want to thank you for being such a good friend to my wife. Forget it, Asa. Maggie is not going to get the money.
It's my money, too. Don't I have a say in this?
No.
Max, I am so surprised at you. You don't trust Sister Maggie, a woman of God?
is it getting gooey around here, or is it just me? No, I'm not worried about Maggie walking off with the money. I'm worried about Carlo walking off with her head.
I'll decide if I want to put myself in danger or not you. Anyway, where were you when you wanted me to use everything but a staple gun to keep Carlo outside of that apartment, and you were on the other side of the door pretending to be him? In fact, I was the one who convinced the man that you had the cure for what wasn't ailing him in the first place. So what is the difference now?
$50 million in a suitcase is what the difference is. Do you have any idea what could happen?
I'll find out in 30 minutes.
Renee, would you please talk some sense into this holy terror?
Oh, no, you're not dragging me into anything. I'm here strictly for the entertainment.
Fine. Okay, fine. You go get the money, but I'm coming with you.
Fine.
Fine. But you better get over to Hess's before he starts remembering how much $50 million really is.
I will do the talking.
Why? You trust me more than you.
This is my deal.
It's our deal.
It was my deal until you hijacked
Well,
it.
lucky for you, I did.
How come I got a good feeling this doesn't end with the $50 million?
Again, you've proven how highly perceptive you are, Antonio. As impressive as this is only half of my payoff to Max Holden and his saintly paramour, Sister Maggie.
So all this to fill your fridge with a bunch of useless spring water.
Useless? Not at all. I give my thanks to the waters at Serenity Springs. I saw what most men never see. The preview of my death, which inspired me to make special plans. Actually, I don't think I'll ever be able to play Max and Sister Maggie back. But I'll certainly keep trying. Which is why I've arranged a little surprise.
I hope I was a good friend to her. After all the disaster I put her through, put you through, the least I could do is be a good friend to her.
Oh, yeah. I bet it was the very least that you could do.
What are you doing here?
Margaret, the man's alive. You knew?
Yes, since yesterday.
Why didn't you tell
I'm
me?
sorry, I have tried to talk to you. I gave Todd a little extra time because he promised that he would go talk to Blair himself, but I have a feeling you haven't done that, have you?
What, and miss this little reunion? Marty's been cluing me in, bringing me up to speed. How somebody had the bright idea to bring the Wild Swan here to Landview, and how somehow you and Blair wound up here together.
Well, and she must have also told you that that was part of a plot.
To get my baby, boy, that really burns me up. Hope they catch the guy who did that. He's smart, though, you know, you gotta admit. Smarter than any of us. Any idea who did it?
Yeah, Carlo Hesser.
Yes, sir. The guy they call Poseidon.
Yeah. The same man who had Siobhan killed, who had Eamon Quilligan killed, who tried to come after me but shot you in my place. The same man who tried to blow up the Palace Hotel and steal millions and cover his tracks.
So he tried to drown Patrick and me, and people think he's responsible for the fire in Angel Square.
Sounds like Carlo Hesser's been very busy while I was off resting in Ireland. Looks like everybody in Landview's been very busy.
Just go home. Go home, Todd. Go to your wife and go to your baby.
Good evening, Dr. Durbin.
Hello.
Why, Dr. Durbin, what a pleasant surprise.
Good evening.
It's such a coincidence. I was just thinking about you, how desperately I needed your professional expertise.
Well, I'm not taking on any more patients at the moment.
Oh, I don't need any therapy.
No? My mistake.
Actually, I wanted some psychological insight from my new novel. I always like my books to contain a real fact or two.
That's very commendable.
Doctor, come on. I'll only take a moment, and the champagne is on me.
For a man who's supposed to be crazy, you're spending a lot of time looking at your watch.
I must have been crazy. Let Holden go pick up the money from Carlo Hesse, even with that nun keeping an eye on him. What if this Maggie decides to build another school for those kids? What if she decides to open up a whole chain of them, like a string of burger joints?
Come on, Asa. I'm scared silly. Max and Maggie are taking all the risk. What if Carlo changes his mind and decides not to give them the money?
That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is what happens after they do get the money.
Antonio. Good evening, Carlo.
Max. It promises to be.
Listen, I thought we'd celebrate with a little bit of Serenity Springs' finest.
How thoughtful of you. Antonio, please. Thank you.
Is, that...
Yes, it is, but first the legal niceties.
Oh, yeah, sure. Here, I'm sure you'll find it's exactly as we discussed. You and your heirs acquire all rights to Spring 12 and Spring 13, along with the restorative waters, in perpetuity, naturally.
Naturally. I'll have my legal advisor check this out. It's not a question of trust, you understand it. I know exactly how much I can trust you.
Fine, good. Can we take a look at the money?
Oh, please, go right ahead. Does it meet with your approval, sister?
Oh, yes.
We'll just do a quick little count. Not that it's a question of trust. You understand?
No, certainly.
It all checks out.
Excellent. Max, if you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's just fine. And just in time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Antonio.
So, Carlo, what shall we make this to? To prosperity?
To life.
How about the happy endings?
Yes. Yes. To the happiness that we all deserve.
Isn't this weird? I mean, winding up in the Wild Swan of all places, where it all began for you, where it almost ended for me.
I need to ask you something. Where have you been? And how did you get out of that car? I saw the cliff that Poseidon's man pushed the car over.
Yeah, it's a long, long, long way down. But hey, it's really, it's only the last couple of feet you worry about. I'll get us some drinks. We can celebrate my homecoming.
We better be careful. I don't understand. He's acting very strange.
Yeah. And that's the man you met yesterday. Alone. The man who raped you.
I keep telling myself that was a long time ago.
A toast.
No.
Well, you want beer?
You need to hear me out.
Well, fine. What's on your mind, Patrick?
We need to talk about Blair.
Okay, fine.
You need to go to her. She's been through a terrible, terrible time and alone.
All alone, I thought she had friends like you around to help her
She's been
grieve.
alone for all the important things. Raising your daughter, running your newspaper, and trying to get her life back on track without you. It's only in the last month or so she's finally...
Cast off her sorrows.
No. Found the strength to bear it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm happy for her.
Yeah. Listen to me for 1 second here, all right? All Blair wants, what Blair always wanted, ever since the day you disappeared into the deep, was a miracle. That somehow, some way, this was all a big mistake, that you would come up here, and be alive and whole, and everything would be fine. And now that this miracle has come to pass, there's no man on this earth, not even you, Todd Manning, who will keep that woman in torment one moment longer.
Patrick, is that... It's gotta be home soon. I don't want to be alone.
If they're not here in 5 minutes, I swear I'm going after them myself.
Your wish is your command.
Oh, thank you so much for dropping by. Okay. Where is it?
Where's what?
Oh, funny. Where's the money?
Oh, that. Oh, well, it's in the safety deposit box, all 50 million of it, as we agreed.
Not quite, Max. We agreed to take it there together.
Well, I'm sorry, but we didn't quite have time because we're heading out, so we decided to drop it off on the way. Listen, I got a little something for you. Maybe it'll keep you calm. Here you go. Here's one key for you, Asa. Key for you, Maggie. And one for me. Sorry, Renee. Takes all 3 keys to open the box, so the money's just going to have to wait until I get back into town. Oh, I also decided that we might need a little pocket change to enjoy in the meantime. One for you, one for you. Sorry again, Renee.
Oh.
$1,000. You do have small pockets, Max.
Not anymore, I don't. Maggie, promise me one thing.
Depends on the promise.
Please, please don't drop that in a collection plate somewhere. Try to live it up a little.
Well, if it's the difference, Max, I mean, enjoy it now, you gotta confess it later.
Oh, John, thank you. Something to mark the occasion. Gentlemen, sister,
As long as it's not spring water.
there you go. To the adventure of a lifetime, thank God it's over.
Thank God.
Now that it is over, I gotta admit, I never expected to team up with a Holden. He did okay.
Well, that's high praise, coming from a crook like you.
Do not let it go to your head, boy.
I won't. Not when I'm sitting across from the biggest bandit ever.
Max, leave him alone.
I wasn't talking about Asa.
Well, then,
He's right, sister. You know, when I get back in the saddle with Buchanan Enterprises and you get tired of working for the Lord, work for me.
Asa considers that a promotion.
That's a cue to hit the road.
Oh, where you heading?
Down south, now that our enterprise has come to a safe and profitable conclusion, it's time to get the twins.
Oh, that's cause for a real toast. Happy trails.
yeah. Thanks, partner.
Why don't you wash that off your mouth?
Oh.
Hold on 1 second. Are you expecting some kind of surveillance report? Ah, so soon. Wonderful. Yes, sir? Good. Excellent. I'm working on that now. Good, good. Thank you. I look forward to your next call. Antonio, I apologize. I'm aware the hour is late, but I have one more assignment for you. I'm here with you.
You better be. Without you.
As long as you need. I cannot possibly accept that.
But come on, you said that he was beautiful, and you said you liked him. I mean, you do like him, right?
Yes, I do like him, and he is beautiful.
Good.
But accepting him would imply that...
What?
Oh. It would imply that you and I have a future together, which we don't.
You couldn't mean that. Look, Patrick is right. Blair was totally devastated.
Okay, fine. I'll go see her. It's time I said hello to the little missus.
Well, I hope you mean it this time.
Maybe somebody should give her a call and prepare her.
Prepare her for what?
For opening the door to see the man she thought was dead.
I thought you said I shouldn't wait another moment. That would be tormenting her.
Look, she's just trying to recover from the kidnapping of your baby.
Look.
She's probably a...
I will tell Blair my way. Hey. Be a nice surprise. I mean, who wouldn't be happy to see me? So, to life, and to death, and to resurrection.
Scandalous.
Excuse me?
Scandalous. That's the title I'm thinking of giving my new novel. It's the story, a very sensual, exciting story, of a woman who falls in love with her psychiatrist. A potentially very dangerous situation, isn't it?
And a very unbelievable one. You see, it breaks one of the most basic rules of therapy. Never become romantically involved with one of your patients. So if I were you, I would think of another plot.
But it does happen sometimes. I mean, not everybody obeys the rules. Perhaps you could think of a case like that. I mean, in your personal experience.
You think you're very clever, don't you, Dorian?
Excuse me.
Believe me, this is a waste of your time. I know that you and Vicky share a long and difficult history together. I just don't plan to become part of it.
Doctor, I'm simply asking a little advice.
Then I'll be glad to give you some. Why don't you just stop whatever game it is that you're playing? You can't win it without winning my trust. And to put it bluntly, I don't trust you.
Thank you for the info. Your check will go out in the morning.
And who might that be?
Oh, just a private dick I hired to watch my back.
Your trust in human nature is so touching. So, Asa, you've gotten your revenge against Carlo. Are you satisfied?
I don't know. Maybe I am. What about the others?
Others?
All the people I know in Landview, for starters. Hess was going to destroy all their lives, turn this fine hotel of yours into an instant parking lot. You know what's ironic, though, Renee? That the money came back from where it was stolen. Up a flight of stairs, halfway down a hall, half a year back.
So you can put it all behind you now. Everything has gone full circle.
Yeah, maybe it has for me. But I hope it never does for that snake, Carlo Hessa. He was involved with those terrorists in Ireland, remember? He was one of those characters that paid those thugs to kill Patrick Thornhard. Instead,
killed Todd Manning. There are lots of people out there with scores to settle with Hessler. I pray that they nail that snake.
Can you stay?
Sorry.
Todd's alive. Alive and well and living in Lambview.
No, can you believe it? I can't believe it. And here I've been feeling guilty, thinking that I'd left him in Ireland to die.
Ireland. Ireland, my home sweet home. Do you remember how desperate I was to cover my tracks when I first met you?
And kissed me.
Did ever a kiss cause so much mischief?
I don't regret it. Especially now, everything seems to be going so well. Todd's here for Blair. And, well, Dylan, he seems to be getting better.
Maybe someday we'll have our own happy ending.
I've never stopped hoping for that. But I do know that happy endings don't always come Mr. Keneally's way, you know, with ancient magic and a full moon. You have to earn them. You have to be worthy of them.
Well, as they say over here, it's in the bag. Soon.
Water waiting for Hessler to call.
Oh, come on. You kidding? If I had a nickel for every time you almost screwed up, Hessler's $50 million would look like chump change.
Oh, you needed me. I made Carlo trust you, and I have the guilty conscience to prove it. Without me, Hessler would have smelled a rat, and you know it, partner.
You're right.
Oh, and what?
You are absolutely right. I needed you. We make a great team, Maggie. Always have been, always will be.
I don't know. I think that I'm finished with this stuff. You know, it was a one-time deal. I'm officially dissolving this partnership in perpetuity. Next time you want to lie, cheat, steal, and scam someone out of $50 million, you're going to have to find yourself another nun.
There won't be another time.
Oh, right.
No, really, I'm serious. I'm retiring. You want to find me, you look on the porch and you find the rocker that's marked Max Holden, single dad. Oh, really, really, really. It's the easy life for me from now on. Simple life. Just, all I need is just my kids, my house, my dog, my $15 million. That's all I need. Well, almost all I need.
Keep your eyes on the road. I don't know. I think that you'll always be looking for the next big scam. It seems to be in your blood.
Now I get a transfusion.
Look at that when I see it.
Oh, ye of little faith.
What's that sound?
Beating of my heart.
Yeah, well, it sounds like your heart is down a chord.
The scum Hessler thinks he's going to live till he dies. I've got a strong hunch Poseidon's going to surface again.
Oh, God, Asa, please. I thought tonight that was all going to be over and done with. Carlo, Poseidon, the water, the money, you.
Me?
Yes, you playing the demented fool. How soon is that going to be over and done with?
Soon.
Good. Because I have to tell you, dear heart, it's starting to get me down.
Yeah, me too. I think it was worth it, though, to find who my friends are and those who aren't.
My, that sounds ominous. How did I do?
You have to ask. Renee, I have a hunch that I shouldn't have let you go.
You know, Asa, when you go getting all sentimental like that, you know what I think?
What?
I think you've had too much champagne. Who's your designated driver?
Same as always, my chauffeur. And I think you're right. It's about time I moseyed back to the old homestead. Oh, waiter.
Yes.
Keep the change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Buchanan.
I don't expect you to trust me, Doctor. At least not until you get to know me.
Actually, it's my job to know people. And I think I know all I need to know about you.
Such as?
Well, I can see you turn on that smile a bit too quickly. You let it linger a bit too long. And that friendliness in your voice is not matched by what's in your eye. No. I think I know enough about you to know that it would be a very bad idea to know any more. So, if you'll excuse me.
You don't know anything about me, Doctor. What you do know, you learned from Vicky. I can just imagine what she told you.
Then you'll have to imagine it. Vicky is my patient. What passes between her and me is strictly confidential.
How convenient for both of you.
Patrick!
Claire, what are you doing here?
What is taking you so long? Where have you been? Are you all right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Look, I know that I probably scared you half to death with me being here waiting for you like this, but I just had to get over here and tell you as soon as I could. I had to find you and tell you how sorry. I'm really, really sorry for trying to give you the horse.
Everything's fine with that.
No, it is not fine, all right? Look, it's just very easy for me to buy things for myself, but I forget what it means to other people, and it was a mistake, and I'm so sorry.
I've forgotten all about that already.
Well, see, I haven't. And I've been here waiting for you, and I've been thinking, well, there's so many things I need to apologize for, so many things. And first of all, I really want to tell you how sorry I am for keeping Marty's note from you. And I want to apologize for all those silly, stupid, petty things, those jealous things that I did. And I most of all want to apologize for treating you as if you were some prize to be won,
Blair.
when you are really a man, a wonderful man, Patrick.
Blair.
That has wonderful feelings.
Listen to me. You shouldn't be here.
You're not so angry with me, are you?
No, I'm not angry with you. But you shouldn't be here.
Don't, please. Don't push me away. Patrick, I don't want to be alone.
No, I'm not pushing you away, please.
Don't. But why is it Marty? Did she tell you that she's leaving
Go home.
Dillingham?
There's nothing to do with that. Just please go home.
Why did I throw myself at you and let you hurt me? You don't care. You don't even care that I'm alone. All you care about and all you have feelings for are your precious Marty. Well, listen, you don't have to say it again because I am going to go home, all right? And you can go to hell.
Oh, Patrick. I hope that was the right thing to do.
Madam,
Oh, yes, Leon.
I'm terribly sorry. I know Mr. Buchanan is often not always on top of things, but there's a problem with his bill.
But I don't understand. He gave John cash.
Yes, ma'am, but it's counterfeit.
What?
Are you sure?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I used to work as a bank teller. The watermark is misplaced, and there's a slight blur around the portrait.
I see, Leon. Thank you so much. I'll take care of everything.
Yes.
Yes.
He never laid alone.
Asa, you are not going to do any of it any good if you blow a valve.
I tried to pull a fast one on that snake, and he shoved it right in my mouth. I'm going to catch him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to bring him back to life, and I'm going to kill him again. I swear. I swear.
Where have you been? I called you over a half an hour ago. I want a complete file on Elliot Durbin. Now, why aren't you doing what I pay you to do? What is it?
The Life and Times of Dr. Elliot Durbin. You can read that now, or you can wait for the movie.
I think I'll read it now. Who's Grisanti?
Mr. Grisanti is a man who has extensive business connections in Las Vegas and Atlantic City. His methods for collecting outstanding debts are, well, outstanding. He doesn't stop at a nasty phone call or two.
What does he do?
He does very little, actually. The people who owe Mr. Grisanti money seem to find themselves on the top of very tall buildings, and the force of gravity does the rest. Your Mr. Durbin almost found himself in that position a few months ago, after a few not-so-productive nights at the blackjack table. And then, suddenly and mysteriously, someone stepped forward and paid all of his debts.
Really? And who would Elliot's timely friend be?
I don't know. I'm still working on it.
Work on it harder. We have that name. We have Elliot.
I gave Spike the envelope.
I imagine he was pleased.
Oh, sure he was. That was an awful lot of money for an auto mechanic. You know, the guy's license plates were from North Carolina. You got a car up there or something?
Or something.
You know, for that much money, why bother fixing it when you can just buy yourself a new one?
This is a very special car, Antonio, on a very special journey.
I guess so.
You know, Antonio, there's nothing quite like the feeling when a plan starts to come together.
What's wrong?
As far as I can tell, nothing.
Oh, stop, Max.
Well, you noticed, did you?
What do you think I am, an idiot? I know what comes next, a sleeping bag and a hip flap.
Oh, wait, but that is a low blow.
Oh, no, that's not a low blow. The low blow is going to come when you try anything.
Would you just knock it off? I promised you as boring a trip as you want, and I meant it.
Then what happened?
I don't know.
My bad car karma.
You're a nun. You're not supposed to believe in karma.
Clap my hands and believe in fairies if it'll get us out of here.
I don't get this. I don't. The guy checked it out, said it was running perfect, and he set me off with a full tank of gas. There's something going on here that is very, very strange.
Forget it, Patrick. The muses themselves couldn't make sense of tonight. Hello?
Hey. Just thought I'd call and see how you're doing.
Hi. I'm fine. I just, I'm just trying to make sense of tonight. It's been a wee bit strange. So I'm sitting here with my notebook trying to figure it all out and not getting anywhere. It's not every night you have a drink with the dead man.
Now, Pod isn't dead, and that's what that means. It's a new beginning.
Well, if it's a new beginning, let it begin.